Today I'd like to introduce Dr. Andrea Korn. She's a child and family psychologist, and Ethan Skolnick, who's a sports columnist currently covering the Miami Heat. Welcome.
Good to be here.
Thank you.
They've collaborated on writing an amazing book called Raising Your Game, and they share stories of over 100 elite athletes. It was really interesting to hear the stories of what it was like for some of these pros playing as kids. I loved what you did. And I also love the perspective of what it's like for a professional athlete to now be a parent of kids of their own that are playing sports. That was really fascinating.
There's going to be good reasons why children do leave organized sports at the age of 13. It's a pivotal age. You're shifting from elementary to middle school. You're at the cusp of adolescence, early adolescence and puberty. There's many changes going on, whether physically, emotionally, mentally. Their interests are changing, their friends are changing. They're able to maybe assert themselves a little more if a parent put them in a sport and they don't like it, or they've had a bad experience, or the child realizes they're not as talented. They may go on to something else. They may pick a different sport. The parents who are very focused on the outcome, on winning, and they put a disproportionate emphasis. We want to help those parents pay attention to the inner world of the child, to really think about what it feels like to be a child, to really be attuned to their thoughts and their feelings, because if they can help their child along the journey, then the youth sports experience is going to be much more fun and rewarding, regardless of where they go in their lives in sports.
What I thought was interesting, you said that your toughest opponent was not on the other side of the net, but was inside you. And you gave your parents a lot of credit for trying to help, but you felt like their support wasn't very helpful. And I wanted maybe for you to share some ideas of how parents can be supportive.
Well, one of the chapters in the book is all about communication. What we're saying is that you have to be able to talk and communicate with your child. No two children are the same. They all have different temperaments, personalities. Some can handle criticism better than others. Some are, tougher skinned. But the point being is, if they have fears, if they have doubts, if they have insecurities, even the most well-meaning parent, can hire a coach, send a child to an academy such as yours, but they also have to help them deal with what's on the inside, and that's invisible. And you have to be able to know how to bring that out. And I know my parents were well-meaning, but they did not know how to ask me about, well, what's making you uncomfortable? Why are you feeling, insecure? And so we just want to give parents ideas of what to think about and what they can do to help their child along the way.
I think the story that touches on that the most is one that was told by Cliff Floyd, who played for the Marlins and for the Cubs and for the Expos, and retired about 3 years ago to go into broadcasting. But Cliff was the least likely kid you would think would be shy. He was, always sort of athletically gifted, huge, strapping, burly, kid when he was growing up. But he was actually very shy and very insecure, and he didn't want a lot of attention. As he told us, his mother would basically expect him to hit 1,000 all the time and be perfect. And he didn't really want the attention that came with being great, to the point that he said that sometimes he would, he didn't even want to pursue something or to be his best because he was afraid that it would draw attention to him. And to show how long that this can kind of last with someone, Cliff went through his entire major league career, played, something like 15 seasons, even through injuries, hit a lot of home runs, had a lot of success, made all-star teams. And it wasn't until after he retired that he went back to his mother and said, the way that you communicated with me when I was young was not the best thing for me. And that stuck with him all those years. And so this is a kid who ended up making it in a sport. It was just so outrageously gifted and managed to pursue it. But how many kids are there out there who feel the way that he did, but maybe didn't have his gifts to kind of overcome it, and how does that live with them for the rest of their lives? So in his case too, he said his mother was very well-meaning, but she just didn't understand how to communicate with him. And the story that Andrea is referencing with Dwayne Wade is that he has two sons, and one of them is much more receptive to criticism than the other. And it took him some time to recognize that one of the key takeaways we want people to get from the book is we're not saying there's one way of doing this, with any child. In fact, we're saying the opposite. We're saying there's not one way of doing it, and a lot of it depends on just how well you understand the child.
So easy for the child to misunderstand something because they want so much to please that parent or the coach, and to think that, you know, that they're proud of them. And if they see a stern look or an angry look or an upset look, they're going to personalize it oftentimes and think that they're doing something wrong.
Parents need to go in with the intention that they're just enjoying watching their kids play, and they're there to support and not have an outcome or an intention that the kids have to do X, Y, or Z to be happy.
Absolutely. That's why to us it was so much about keeping the focus on fun and more about the effort and being persistent and trying and not just looking for the results.
Right. One thing that we suggest, and I don't know if you guys agree, but we always suggest that the parents, first of all, never give any kind of feedback after a game unless the kids ask. And number two, we suggest that they ask permission, because if the kid gives permission, then they might be more open. But if you just give your advice without any kind of permission, a lot of times kids shut down.
We have a lot of the athletes who are parents themselves, and we focus on that quite a bit, and the idea of how they're dealing with their own kids. And again, these are athletes who know more about a particular sport than any of the other parents would. And yet, when the majority of them that I spoke to said they try to stay quiet when they're out there, because their feeling is that having too many distracting messages coming from too many different people is a negative for the child, that it's confusing. And parents need to learn to work in concert with the coaches as much as possible instead of in conflict. A parent should try to do his or her best, or the mentor, whoever it is, to work with the coach to present one message to the child, to not be contradicting what the coach said as soon as you get in the car. But at the same time, there will be points where the coach is not behaving properly, and that's when the parent then has to step in. But it's to a certain degree, there should be some level of trust. And I think the way it's put is you don't just sort of drop your kids off and forget about it, but you stay vigilant, but without meddling, if there's a way to do that. You essentially want to show up, you want to show interest, and you want to show restraint.
Sometimes if the parent can't be there, to show interest in a way that the child feels good, like, tell me about, you know, your experience. What did you enjoy? What do you remember that you had the most fun doing? Not, did your team win? Did you hit a home run? I hope you didn't strike out.
Go to sportsmentaltoughness.com to get your free video training and guided visualization MP3 on how to perform under pressure. I'm Craig Sigel, the Mental Toughness Trainer.